ciel bleu vole en silence.
Welcome to this week's Monday Morning Style Session, which I have pre-recorded as I am currently on another plane headed back to Florida from Illinois. So today I want to talk about what price has to do with style. Last week we talked about what size has to do with style and how size can be this baffling and often limiting thing that we have to take into account when we're trying to assemble a wardrobe and build a wardrobe. It can be hard because not everything that we want is available in our size. Sizes are inconsistent. Sizes are baffling. They're inconsistent across the same brand, not to mention across different brands. And so size is something that we all have to contend with. No matter what size range or size category we fall in, we all have to find clothes that fit. So today we're going to talk about what price has to do with style, because we all have to find clothes that we can afford. At the end of the day, you can dream all you want about wearing couture, but if you don't have a couture budget, we want to bring that down to your real life so that you can really dress in a way that makes you look and feel beautiful and do it at a price that you can afford. So what does price have to do with style in 2024? Increasingly, the correlation between price and quality has been diminished. It really has. Over the last several years, there's really been a shift towards great value for the price. Now, we're seeing a lot of really bad quality. We're seeing a lot of really bad pieces that are overpriced. We've also been seeing a lot of really bad pieces that are disposable, like fast fashion, where a shirt is $5 and it looks like it was made for 5 cents. So we're seeing both ends of the spectrum. But we're also seeing brands that are really providing great quality for the price. So the price quality connection has really become muddied and fuzzy over the last couple of years, and there's really just not as much involved in finding a great piece at a great price as there used to be. We have more options than we used to have, believe it or not. Again, a lot more bad quality, but also a lot more good quality. So sounds like a contradiction, but it's really going to come down to where you're choosing to shop. So first of all, that's the first thing I want to point out, is that there's not as much of a correlation between price and quality as there used to be. And it's diminishing all the time. When we've seen Chanel bags that have not improved in quality, they were beautiful quality then, they're beautiful quality now. Arguably, some of these brands have come under fire recently for their manufacturing standards and for their quality level actually going down, but their prices have been astronomical. Like it used to be that you could get a Chanel bag in the thousands, and now it's like the tens of thousands for many of these pieces. And so the disparity between the affordable items being, like a bag at Shein being $3 and a Chanel bag being $15,000, like that has just dramatically increased over the last few years. And of course, the quality at the high end isn't getting better, but the quality at the lower end is getting worse. So it's just this weird place that we're finding ourselves in with price right now. Okay, second thing I want to talk about is don't discount or ignore high price stores. So when you're looking at shopping for your budget or your price point, often you can say, I recently had a client say to me, I don't shop at Neiman Marcus and Saks, they are out of my price point. But she shopped a lot at Nordstrom and at Bloomingdale's. Her misconception was that Neiman Marcus and Saks were always going to be more expensive than Bloomingdale's and Nordstrom, and that's just really not the case. All of these stores, department stores in general, whether you're looking at JCPenney and Macy's and Dillard's, or you're looking at Neiman Marcus and Saks, are all going to have a range of prices. Yes, the range on the lower end can be a little higher than, at one store than another, but they're going to have a range of prices, and you're going to find that you can find an affordable option at almost every one of those stores. Now, if you are currently shopping at Target or Old Navy or, whatever other H&M, whatever other inexpensive brand that you're shopping at, because you think that Nordstrom is out of your price point, or you think that Bloomingdale's is out of your price point, or even J. Crew is out of your price point, I would encourage you to look at the lower priced items at J. Crew and compare those to the higher priced items at Target, for example, you will find that the price difference between discount stores and department stores has also really, really gotten smaller. It used to be that, back in the 70s when I was growing up, you could go to Kmart and buy a dress for $5, but at a department store, maybe it was $35. I don't know, I'm making up these prices. But the difference between a discount price and a department store price was pretty dramatic back then. And it's not the same anymore. You can find a dress at Nordstrom for $50 and you can find a dress at Target for $50. So the sale prices at department stores can often bring them in anyone's reach and can really make them very close to the prices at discount stores. So don't just write off a store just because you think it's expensive. So that's going to tie into the next point, which is look for sales at the higher price stores on things you would want or need anyway. So regardless of your budget, again, if you feel like Nordstrom is on the higher end of your budget, find the items that you would already buy, but find them on sale at Nordstrom. So this is not an excuse to run to stores and buy things that we don't need just because they're on sale, because that deep discount that we get, and the shiny object syndrome that we get when we walk into a store and we're like, this is a once in a lifetime buying opportunity, I have to buy this item, it is so inexpensive, it's like begging me to take it home. I've been there. It's not begging you to take it home. It's begging you to leave it behind at the store. And often these items are heavily discounted for a reason. So no matter what the sale, whether it's the anniversary sale and we think it's a once in a lifetime or at least a once in a year opportunity, you're spending money on something that you don't need and are not going to be wearing is still a waste of money, even if it was a discount. Even if it was a discount, it's still a waste of money. So use sales as an opportunity to bring things that you already want and need and are going to use into your price range. So, for example, you're looking at a great, classic sweater and it was out of your price point at Nordstrom at full price, but it goes on sale. That's your opportunity to buy that piece that you're going to get a lot of use out of. Again, it's not an opportunity to snap up all the crazy stuff that no one else wants to begin with. Okay, next, consider shopping straight to consumer brands. So I'm talking about brands like Quince, a brand that I work with and I love, brands like Everlane, but Kuyana. There are a lot of really Italic. There are a lot of really good straight to consumer brands. Sarah Flint is one, Inez, where they sell beautiful quality pieces, and because they're not going through a middleman of sending them to a department store, or many of them don't have brick and mortar stores, you're really getting a good price for the quality. So Quince in particular, a brand I love and I know that many of you love, they have really, I love their slogan of they sell inexpensive, expensive things. So you're getting silk and linen and cotton and cashmere, and you're getting them at really good prices. So do not think, oh, I don't have the budget for cashmere. I don't have the budget for linen. I don't have the budget for natural fibers. I've got to wear polyester my whole life because that's all that Walmart sells or Target sells or Old Navy sells or wherever it is you're currently shopping. I would encourage you to just give yourself some more options and broaden the places that you're shopping from, because you'll be surprised at the quality that you can get. I would rather have you get one top at Quince or at Nordstrom, or one top in really nice fibers in a quality that you're going to love and use for a long time, than 3 tops in polyester that are going to fall apart and that you're not going to love. So really consider these straight to consumer brands. I will list my favorites in the description box below, but they're amazing. And you can really get what you want at a price that you can afford. Next, I'm going to say this: shop consignment and thrift and resale shops. Now, I say this as someone who does not do nearly enough of this. One of the reasons I don't do nearly enough of this is because we really only have one good consignment store in our area. I do shop at that consignment store. Our thrift stores just never have a lot of stuff. They just don't have a lot. We don't live in a kind of community where people are thrifting things like, Eames chairs or whatever, St. John suits. Like, they're just not. So we don't have that kind of selection in our our town, but we can find that kind of selection online. So I really love The Real, Vestiaire Collective, eBay, Poshmark. You can find the brands that you've been wanting to try at amazing prices on these sites, and they're vetted. I just love finding a good deal for my clients. And so it really doesn't always have to come down to how much you're willing to spend. If there's a brand that you have your eye on, you can put the alerts on eBay and on Poshmark, and when that brand in your size or an item in your size comes up on one of those sites, you'll get an alert and you'll be able to shop the item that you want at a price that you can afford. So expand your options when it comes to shopping retail or thrift or consignment, and recognize that being online gives us so many more options than we have had in the past. However, I'm going to go back to sizing for a second, because when you're on vacation, or when you're in a store or a mall or an area that you don't maybe normally get to shop at, try on some of the brands that you're considering that are out of your price point. Maybe it's Ted Baker or Karen Millen or Farm Rio, whatever that brand is. Try on some of those pieces in those brands, because you're not going to know your size when it comes up on eBay if you haven't tried it on. So I call it fantasy shopping. Go into a dressing room, bring a couple of items, try them on, and decide what size you wear in that specific brand. And when it comes up at a price that you can afford at your favorite online resale site, you'll know and you'll feel more comfortable buying that item, because you know that it fits you. Finally, I talk about this all the time. I'm going to say it again. Tags stay on until you wear them. Tags stay on until you wear the item. You're not going to fall in love with an item more after you get it home from the store like 3 weeks later. Like, you're not. You love it in that moment, and you should be excited about wearing it, provided it's not a special occasion item that you purchased for a special occasion, right? But anything that suits your regular life, if you're not reaching for it, remember that new items have a learning curve. And there's a learning curve with new clothes, and it can take a minute till you figure out how to make that piece work with your wardrobe, with your style, with your current silhouette, especially if you're introducing a new shape or a new silhouette or a new color. It's going to feel off for a minute. And the only way to get over that newness and that awkwardness of introducing this new friend to the rest of the friends in your closet is to take it in and start working with it right away and playing with it right away and getting to know it right away. Like, style it and put it into outfits, and then immediately put that outfit on your roster, on your rotation, and wear it. Because if you're putting it on, taking it off a couple of times, if you're just like, oh, I just don't know, I'm not like feeling this, the tags need to stay on until you're about to walk out the door with that item, because you do not need more clothes in your closet that you're not wearing. You don't need more clothes in your closet that you're not wearing. So tags stay on until you wear the item, and until you know that you're going to keep the item and it's going to become part of your regular rotation. And for the items that you've decided that you're going to return, you need to take those back right away. Like, just have a return day every other week. I keep them in the trunk of my car. It drives my husband crazy, but it works like a charm. That way, if I'm driving past that store, I know that I've got that item with the receipt and all the stuff in it, so that I can return it. Return those clothes and turn around and use that money for something you can actually wear. So I hope that you found this helpful, how to really maximize your budget, make the most of your budget, and not be limited by your budget. So I love doing these Monday morning style sessions with you, and I love seeing your comments. So even though I'm not live and this is pre-recorded, please comment below and let's continue this conversation in the comments. Let me know how you make the most of your budget in your wardrobe, and I will see you in the next Monday morning style session. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe if you're on YouTube, so that we can keep hanging out.